Mr. Simon Mwewa. Mr. Simon Mwewa. I don't know about you, but as for me personally, I am voting for Mr. Simon Mwewa to stand as the mayor of Lusaka. Mr. Simon Mwewa, I am voting for you to stand as the mayor of Lusaka. However, we must know, as citizens of this country and as residents of Lusaka province, that the Lusaka City Council has got a way in which it functions. There are many functions of the Lusaka City Council. For instance, we have service provision. So the Lusaka City Council is responsible for service provision. Now, when I say service provision, many of you might be wondering what I am talking about. For instance, we have things like waste collections. I have noticed that in many areas like ghetto compounds, there is garbage all over in those places, and yet the Lusaka City Council does not do anything about that. I see if I go to areas like Mrs. Chivolia, there is trash all over, and yet the Lusaka City Council does not do anything about that. And they say they have been working. So when Mr. Simon Mwewa is voted for as the mayor of Lusaka, all that will be cleared. Mr. Simon Mwewa is going to make sure these ghetto compounds are clean. Not only ghetto compounds, I'm not only talking about ghetto compounds, but I am also talking about the well-to-do areas in which well-to-do people living, or commonly known as Mayadi. For instance, here in Livala South, where I live, there is trash all over. So when Mr. Simon Mwewa has been voted for as the mayor of Lusaka, he is going to make sure that that all the trash is removed. Because, guys, we should vote for Mr. Simon Mwewa to stand, or Mr. Chitambala Mwewa to stand as the mayor, so that areas like mine in Livala South, the trash is cleared. If you come here in Livala South, alongside Tokyo Way, near Zesco substation, there is a place where, garbage is filled, trash is all over, and yet the Lusaka City Council has not done anything about that. So guys, let's vote for somebody that will help Lusaka become clean. Let's vote for a person that will bring a clean Lusaka. I'm going to vote for Mr. Simon Mwewa because I want him to bring this service provision of getting rid of waste collection. In markets too, there are many markets which are dirty, filled with trash. You find that somebody is selling tomato, another person is selling maybe, let's say, beans. There is a restaurant there and there is trash all over, and the bin is next to the restaurant. I'll give an instance of Hungry Lion in town. There is garbage all over, and yet there is a restaurant next. All that must be cleared up. When Mr. Simon Mwewa has been voted for as the mayor of Lusaka, he will make sure that all these marketplaces are clean. He will make sure that all these marketplaces are clean. Nobody is going to be throwing trash in the markets. Why do I say this? Because Mr. Simon Mwewa has brought something up where they should set bins all over the marketplaces. And when those bins are set all over the marketplaces, people will not be throwing trash all over. People will not be throwing garbage all over, but rather they will be throwing that trash in the bin. So Mr. Simon Mwewa wants to set bins in town, in marketplaces, so that people could have where to throw the trash from, and so that we can have a clean city. Even the streets, here in the streets, you find that you're walking Pambali, Palima Bin and stuff. when Mr. Simon Mwewa has been voted for as the mayor of Lusaka, all that will be cleared. And then another service provision of the Lusaka City Council is health inspection. Health inspection. So the Lusaka City Council, when Mr. Simon Mwewa wins, health inspection will take place, because I have noticed that the former council that was in power for 5 years did not do health inspection. Because we have many restaurants like in Chalala, here in Livala South, there are many restaurants, and I have never seen Lusaka City Council come and inspect in those restaurants. My restaurants yali doti, my table, shan, and the Lusaka City Council does nothing about that, when it is their obligation to make sure that these restaurants are clean, and so that people are eating safe and clean food. So when we vote for Mr. Simon Mwewa as the mayor of Lusaka, health inspection is going to be taking place. The Lusaka City Council will be moving from restaurant to restaurant, not only in Livala South, but the entire Lusaka, making sure that people are eating safe and clean food. And then another function of the Lusaka City Council is to enforce rules. Enforce rules. Now, what do I mean? The Lusaka City Council brings up rules like reminding people not to throw garbage anywhere. Because if those rules are not brought up, people will be throwing garbage anywhere, in the roads, in the marketplaces. They will not mind where to throw that garbage. But if we vote for Mr. Simon Mwewa as the mayor of Lusaka, he will make sure that he reminds the people the rules of bringing up a clean city, the rules of helping Lusaka become clean. So Mr. Simon Mwewa is going to he's going to enforce a rule which will be encouraging people, which will remind people to help Lusaka become clean. And now, how exactly does he remind people? How exactly does he remind people? How does he enforce this rule of reminding people to not throw garbage anywhere? Through things like posters, through the radio stations, through TV channels, and through social media advertisements. So those are the things that Mr. Simon Mwewa has been doing. He's been posting on social media. He's been using radio stations. He's been using TV channels, and he's also been talking through social media to help and bring up a clean city here in Lusaka. Another function of the Lusaka City Council is to, under enforcing rules, is to take action. If people do not abide by the rules of the Lusaka City Council, the Lusaka City Council must take action. How do they take action? For instance, if a restaurant isn't clean, it is the Lusaka City Council's obligation to make sure that that restaurant is closed down. If people are building shops, building property without being permitted by the Lusaka City Council, the Lusaka City Council must take action and close down those shops and close down those restaurants which were built without the Lusaka City Council's permission. That is what the Lusaka City Council was designated to do. They must take action. If people in marketplaces are not being clean, the Lusaka City Council must make sure that they close down whatever shop, whatever restaurant isn't abiding by the rules of the Lusaka City Council. And then under service provision, the Lusaka City Council must also make sure that they build proper places for buses to be parked in. Because I don't know if you've noticed, if you go to places like Intercity, you find that buses are all over. Mabasi, yeah, the Paliponse, people do not even have where to pass from. So Mr. Simon Mwewa is trying to change that. When Mr. Simon Mwewa has been voted for as the mayor of Lusaka, he will make sure that these buses have been given places where they should be parking from, so that people can be able to pass freely. I'll give an instance of where Mr. Simon Mwewa Lane television institution is. There you find that buses are parked all over the road. There's congestion all over. People are even unable to pass. We have street vendors selling all over, and we have the people with buses parking anywhere. Mr. Simon Mwewa is going to make sure that those people with buses have been given areas or have been given spaces where to park their buses from. Street vendors. Mr. Simon Mwewa is not planning to chase away street vendors. No, he's not doing that. What Mr. Simon Mwewa Lane wants to do is that he wants to build places within the same market where the street vendors will be selling from. Because I have noticed that ukaenda mtaa unopeza street vendor agulisa pali ponzi. Street vendors are anywhere, selling from anywhere. You find that buses are parked here, street vendors are all over. So when Mr. Simon Mwewa has been voted for as the mayor of Lusaka, he is going to make sure that those street vendors are not chased out of the markets, but those street vendors are given places where to sell from. Because let's assume those street vendors are chased out of the markets. They'll have nowhere to go, because through that same selling in the market, that's how they manage to feed their families. So imagine a council that chases away street vendors. You will not only lose votes, but you will you can also contribute to an increase in theft in the country. Because if those people in the markets are chased out of the markets, they'll have nothing to do, hence leading to an increase in the rate of theft. Bazambo kuba Kawala theft will increase. Why? Because those people are chased out of the markets where they were earning money. Mukabapisha ma street vendors, they will have nowhere to go. Bazambo kuba. Why? Because valid the mwachosela business yabo movoguli. You see that? And it can also lead an increase to teenage pregnancies in the country. That marketeer, the person who is selling in the market, that street vendor, the things they are selling are keeping them busy. Instead of ujamukamupisha muntu, if you chase that person out of the market, they will go and start doing things like prostitution. They will try to start making money through prostitution, hence leading to an increase in the number of teenage pregnancies. And if you look at majority of the people selling in markets in town, those are teenagers. They are, most of them are young girls in their early 20s. Young girls in their early 20s. Yeah, quite alright. Some of them have ended up selling in the markets because their parents cannot afford to provide things that are needed for their education. Things like books, shoes, uniforms. Their parents cannot afford to buy that, so they end up selling in the markets. If you chase those people out of the markets, they'll have nowhere to go, and that can lead to an increase in the rate of teenage pregnancy, in the number of teenagers getting pregnant. So all that will change when we vote for Mr. Simon Mwewa as mayor of Lusaka. Mr. Simon Mwewa is going to make sure that those people are not chased out of the streets, but he's going to make sure that those people are given places where to sell from. He's going to make sure that spaces are created for buses to park properly, preventing congestion in the marketplaces. Another obligation of the Lusaka City Council is to maintain roads. For instance, fixing potholes. uzadapata maroad mulito mibo, potholes all over the roads. I'll give an instance of this road that goes to Chirundu. There is a road that goes to Chirundu, which has got potholes all over. Potholes all over. Now, such things are the obligations of the Lusaka City Council to clear up. Roads like Great East, roads like Tokyo Way, all those roads within Lusaka City. All those roads within Lusaka City. Now, it is the obligation of the Lusaka City Council to make sure that those potholes are cleared up in those roads. The Lusaka City Council fixes potholes and also repairs cracks. Those roads which are cracked in Lusaka, the Lusaka City Council is going to make sure that those cracked roads are cleared up. The former council never used to do all those things, to be honest. But when we vote for a better mayor in Lusaka, when we vote for a mayor who cares for the people, like Mr. Simon here, he will make sure that those cracks are cleared up, those cracks are fixed. Things like cleaning, getting rid of dirt, that's the obligation of the Lusaka City Council. Getting rid of trash, which they do, they go around homes collecting bins. That they do. And also clearing blocked drainages. There are some drainages that are blocked, maybe 5 to 10 years. The Lusaka City Council isn't doing anything about that. Sometimes I cannot blame the Lusaka City Council because sometimes those people do not know what's going on. If you do not inform them, how are they going to know? Let's say, for instance, here, the way I am in Livala South, I must go through the councillor here in Livala South. The councillor will therefore take the information to the Lusaka City Council. Now, and then the Lusaka City Council will figure out a way in which they can fix that blocked drainage so that water can be flowing easily. But now I'll give an example here in Livala South. I don't know what the councillor Waku Livala South does because Kunoku Livala South, I have never seen the councillor come here. What does the councillor for Livala South get paid for? Because he doesn't come, he doesn't show. I do not even know how the councillor for Livala South looks like. And yet he says that he works. He wants people to vote for him. So all those things are the things we must look at as people. We shouldn't vote for people who do not care. We shouldn't vote for people who do not care. Let us vote for people who care. You vote for a councillor in Livala South and that councillor does not even show up. That councillor is getting paid for free, and yet here Livala South is filled with bins, with garbage. Livala South has got blocked drainages all over. What does the councillor in Livala South do? Nothing. Gets paid for nothing. We are voting for wrong people. Let us vote for the right people. Let us bring change in our city, Lusaka. We shouldn't vote for lazy people. Let us vote for people who are hardworking. Let us vote for people who fulfill our promises. So now, if you have things like blocked drainages, you must go through your councillor. Your councillor takes that information to the Lusaka City Council. But if the councillor does not show up, how then are you going to be able to reach that councillor out so that the information can be reached to the Lusaka? Sometimes I fail to blame the Lusaka City Council because they do not know what is going on in these areas. So we must inform them so that they are able to know, and so that the Lusaka City Council can do about something about it. If the councillor isn't working, vote that councillor out and vote for a person who is going to be able to work. They get rich and they do not work. You vote for them, they do not work. Let us vote for people who are going to be able to work. And then another obligation of the Lusaka City Council is to paint roads. I'm sure you've noticed that most of the roads are painted. to Line to Mankalama roads. Now, the Lusaka City Council is obligated to do such things, but you find that some roads are not painted, and hence leading to an increase in road accidents. If those roads are not painted, lines are not in roads. I'll give an instance of our roads here, Tokyo. It is not painted at all. And then if accidents are increasing, you blame the people driving. No, you should be blaming the Lusaka City Council, because all those things, the Lusaka City Council is designated. The Lusaka City Council are designated to deal with such issues. But if you do not inform the council, then obviously road accidents will increase. If you inform them and they do not do anything about that, vote for a different person. Which is why I'm saying Mr. Simon Mwewa is the best candidate to stand as mayor of Lusaka, because he is going to bring change. He is going to make sure that all those things are cleared up. Let's assume my road ututuma nankani to the bay, ututuma road to stop there. That's why my accident Yamapaka, which is why accidents are increasing in our city. Why? Because the Lusaka City Council is not doing anything about those road lines. Painting roads. They are not painting road lines. Accidents are increasing each and every single day because the Lusaka City Council is dormant. They are dormant. They are not doing anything about that. So if we vote for Mr. Simon Mwewa, he will make sure that those road lines are painted to prevent road accidents, because cars will drive according to the road lines. But if cars do not know where the road lines are supposed to be, or whether the road where the road lines are, they will start driving carelessly, driving anyhow. Why? Because the roads do not have road lines. So if we vote for Mr. Simon Mwewa as the mayor of Lusaka, he will make sure that road lines are made. Yeah, so guys, those are the obligations and functions of the Lusaka City Council. There are more, guys, but for now I will only explain the ones I have explained. So guys, when we are voting for people, when we are designating people into power, we should be making sure that we should be voting for the right people. We should not vote for the wrong people into power. If we vote for the wrong people into power, Zambians end up suffering. Somebody promises you that when you vote for me into power, I will make sure that Milimio reaches at 50 kwacha. And that person fails to fulfill that promise. What do? You vote that person out, because that person has failed to do what they said they would do. I won't mention a name. There is a president. Before that president came into power, the president stated that once you vote for that person into power, Milimio will reach at 50 kwacha. How much is Milimio today? Milimio today is more than 340 kwacha. And yet in Eddie Galungu's time, we never used to buy Milimio at that amount. Milimio was at 136 kwacha or less, if I'm not wrong. But Milimio is now at 340 plus kwacha. And yet the same president was saying that when you vote for that person into power, that person will bring change. 1 year later, after the same president won, there was an energy crisis in Zambia for almost 3 years. Zambia experienced load shedding for almost 3 years. Load shedding started in 2023. Load shedding ended in 2026. So Zambia apparently experienced load shedding for 3 years. And now that's the person you want to bring back into power. Let us vote for the right people. Let us vote wisely. We should not vote for the wrong people. Muntu akupasani load shedding for 3 years and you want to vote for that person back into power. What is that person going to do back into power? Nothing. Nothing at all. Let us vote for a person who is going to satisfy the Zambians. Somebody who is going to do right things for the Zambians. First of all, I'm not saying that person. I'm not saying that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema is a very good man. Trust me, he's a very good man. He has tried his level best. But what I'm trying to say is that if a person has failed to do what they promised they would do when they get power, let us vote for a different person. Vote for another person who is going to manage. As for me, this year, personally, my vote, I am voting for Mr. Brian Mundubile as the best candidate as president of the Republic of Zambia. I want Mr. Brian Mundubile to win, to stand as the president of the Republic of Zambia. Why? Because that man has a vision. Not only that he has a vision, but we should also choose a distinct government from the government that was there. The UPND government has failed. They have failed to fulfill their promises. They have failed to do what the Zambians want. Let us vote for a government that will do what the Zambians want. The UPND government has failed. They said that they will get rid of load shedding. Zambia had load shedding for 3 years, from 2023 to 2026. They said that when they enter power, milling will reach at 50 kwacha. Milling is now 340 plus kwacha. The only thing that the UPND government have managed to fulfill is to bring in free education. Free education. And mind you, not everybody go to school. Not everybody benefit from that free education. The only people who are benefiting from free education are the school-going children. Education is only free for the school-going children. Yes, we know that if those kids get educated, it may lead to reduction in the rate of poverty. Quite all right, that I agree. But not everybody are benefiting. You are looking at the future. What about this generation? What are you doing for the people of this generation? Those people will go to school, get educated, find proper jobs. But we have people today who do not go to school. They are not benefiting anything from that free education. What is the president of the Republic of Zambia doing for them? As we are speaking today, jobs are hard to find. Quite all right, those people will go to school, they will get educated, but they will find challenges, difficulties in finding jobs. And now because jobs are hard to find, they end up becoming thugs. Why? Because they have nothing to do, they have nowhere to get money. I'm not saying that free education is a bad decision. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema has done the right thing to bring in free education. I'm proud of that. But I am looking at the view of those people who do not go to school, those Zambians who do not benefit from free education. What is the president of the Republic of Zambia, or what has the president of the Republic of Zambia done for those people? Which is why I am picking Mr. Brian Mundubile as the best candidate as president of the Republic of Zambia, as the best candidate to stand as the president of Zambia in 2026 13th August general elections. Mr. Simon Mwewa as the mayor of Lusaka. So guys, when we vote, we should not only vote because our friends are voting for that person. We should not only vote because no mzanga votela wa UPND, no mzanga votela wa PF, mzanga votela wa Brian Mundubile. No. Vote for the person who is going to do the right thing in society. Vote for the person who is going to do the right thing for the country. We shouldn't only vote because your friends told you to vote for this person. Vote for the person you think is going to bring change in Zambia. I am not merely saying this because I am not a fan of the UPND. Trust me, I have seen that UPND has done a great job. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema is a good man, kind man. He has tried his level best. But it is high time that we as Zambians stand up and vote for a government that cares, a government that will sustain the needs of the people, a government that will provide what the people need, a government that will fulfill the promises it makes, a government that does not make false promises. Let us vote for a government that cares. Let us vote for change. Let us bring in change. Mr. Brian Mundubile, President of the Republic of Zambia, 2026, 13th August general election. Mr. Simon Mwewa, Mayor of Lusaka. Let us vote for change, guys. Let us vote for change. We shouldn't vote only because our friends are voting for, because my friend is voting for PF, I should go for PF. Let us vote for a person that will do a great job for the Zambians. Actually, I appreciate what Mr. Mao Sampa has done. Mr. Mao Sampa has endorsed. Mr. Mao Sampa has endorsed Mr. Hakainde Hichilema as the best candidate for the 13th August 2026 general elections, which isn't bad because it's actually leading to peace. To be honest, if Mr. Mao Sampa, if Mr. Mao Sampa endorses. If Mr. Mao Sampa endorses Hakainde Hichilema, it can lead to peace as well in the country. Because I noticed that PF and UPND were not in good terms. There used to be riots, you know, people used to die in these political parties. There was no peace, especially when PF was in power. But after UPND has won, cadalism has even reduced in the country. So guys, let us vote for people who care. Let us vote for a good government, a government that will bring change for the people. I am not against UPND or Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, but the only thing I want is for a better country. I want Zambia to choose wisely as they are voting for leaders. They should vote for people that will do what they want. They should vote for people that will bring change. We shouldn't only vote because our friends are voting for the people they are voting for. We shouldn't follow the votes of our friends. Let us vote from our heart. Let us vote for people that will bring change in the country. So guys, 2026, Mr. Simon Mwewa as the Mayor of Lusaka. Brian Mundubile, President of the Republic of Zambia. Thank you very much for watching. I go by the name of Moses Sinyangwe, also known as the 21st century disciple of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, also known as a politician and also known as a motivational speaker. I go by the name of Moses Sinyangwe, also known as a politician, also known as the 21st century disciple of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, and also known as a motivational speaker. If it is your first time watching this video, I encourage you to hit the like button, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button, and I encourage you to hit the share button so that this video may be pushed into the algorithm and so that people looking for similar content to this one can come across this video. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you.